So how does our culture affect unemployment in the country?
Yes, it is affect. I'm talking about recruitment.
Okay.
Now, with the recruitment, if you checked the news online, if you have a tattoo, you are off. If you are a female with two piercing, you are off. If there's a piercing here.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Broad Daylight with me, Priscilla Moore. Today, we'll be talking about unemployment among the youth. To help me with this discussion is a colleague of mine with name Nikwatila Ekote, and I believe that today we have a lot of things to say. So for starters, I am very sure that you know what went on currently when the recruitment was going on for the various security agencies in the country, and then you can attest to the fact that most of the youth in this nation are jobless and they are desperate to make ends meet for themselves and their family. What do you make of this?
When it comes to the joblessness, it cuts across. Okay, some of them is the cause of the youth themselves, and some are also the cause of the authorities. I am saying this because when you look at some of the behavior of the youth, see, we are Africans, and being an African, we have our norms, we have our culture. When you go to the European countries, you see somebody with a braided hair. I mean, a guy with a braided hair, but will stand in the church and praise the Lord. But in Africa, it's not like that.
So how does our culture affect unemployment in the country?
Yes, it is affect. I'm talking about recruitment.
Okay.
Now, with the recruitment, if you checked the news online, if you have a tattoo, you are off. If you are a female with two piercing, you are off. If there's a piercing here, you are off. If
stretch
marks, you are off. Let's put stretch marks aside. But when we look at the piercing and then the tattoo, no, it goes against the norms here. And I don't believe that it is only in the security services. I'm sure when I came here to look for a job, if I had a tattoo, I'm not sure I would have been employed.
And who is saying that we are looking at tattoos to be able to determine your capability?
Yes, that is the kind of country we are living in. We are in an African society, and we monetize something.
So when I have a tattoo on me, I can't work at a place.
You can work, but ask yourself that will the authorities employ you?
I disagree with this point, because on a more serious note, it is high time we overlook certain things, and it's high time we focus on the potentials of people other than trying to judge them by their physical appearance.
Exactly.
Because you can't tell me that I have a tattoo so I don't qualify to work in your company. Then take your company.
But do you know that we see every Rasta man as a smoker, which is wrong?
The whole mentality needs to be brainwashed.
Exactly. So we need to check on our mentality. That is one. And then two, the authorities, I mean our politicians, they come to us with sweet talks. We vote for them. At the end of the day, then they will tell you that there is no job. Remember, finance minister said one time that you have to create your own job. But when they were coming, they told us that they will provide jobs for us.
And they will even import people to come and work.
Thank you very much. It's not John Boyd who said that. But now look at what is happening. So I see the unemployment to be one, our attitude, and then two, the government sector also.
Oh my God.
Yes, that is how I see it. Because the places are full. Remember, in Africa, you see, if you go to the European world, you are going to seek for a job. They will ask of your qualification. But in Africa, they will ask you who sent you. It's about who you know. And if the person knows you back, it's not only about knowing the person. So knows you back. That is how it is. I say Coco football ball. So if you don't know anybody in a very good sector, my sister, forget it.
So it brings me to a point that I want to raise. It's like it's this matter of you knowing somebody and somebody knowing you back. That whole syndrome, it's really creating a whole lot of problems. When you go to health sectors, for example, you go there and then every occupation you find yourself doing should be a calling.
Yes.
When it's a calling, you do it in a passionate way.
Exactly.
So when you go to the hospital and then you find a nurse pressing the phone, emergency background, who's a nipa kre uno, nipa sano yen freno, or pebi na abo bibi so na yedna kwashe hono.
That is the negative effect of who you know.
Ti say obi o visualize na copy banking sector. Oh my God.
What is it going to happen? Yes. You see, the nurses, one thing about them that pains me is that you are saving life. And the fact that you are saving life, there should be a passion, as you mentioned, behind it. But here is the case. His father is one rich man somewhere who has paid money for his or her daughter to be employed. I say it's by force for her to work there. So you coming there with your emergency or something, she has not even seen you.
It's serious.
Yes.
Because when you look at the recruitment process that is going on, I keep on asking myself that, okay, so all these people, assuming they are going because they want food. Yes. When I say they want something to keep up and they want to take care of their family, they have family, have to take care of. To which under normal circumstance, every young person wants the good for himself or herself. And since the recruitment is going on and we see this people running helter scatter and all those things, I feel that we are recruiting hungry people into our security sectors, because anything they meet people and they don't try to apply their law and they misbehave. 2 cities, 5 cities. Yeah, because they are coming because of their tummies. They are coming because of their stomach. And so if you recruit people who are coming because of their tummy and not because they have the passion for it, now what kind of militants are we recruiting in the nation? And when one Al Qaeda name one for.
But don't you think that if maybe they are employed, maybe they came with their stomach, they are employed and the salary is good, allowances and other incentives are good, don't you think to keep this 2 cities allowance?
To be frank with you, we obi oye jume biano so kind of cry in fact the sika even come before the fashion.
Oh yes.
That is frankly speaking. And if somebody is working for you or you employ somebody, now say you are treating the person right, and the person will even have second thoughts. Or have a second thought, so I want to do other stuff to keep up with the bill because I have a whole lot of things to sort. And since it's if the government put measure in place, say, as saying we have to, grant them this incentive for them to feel okay. Yeah. Like when this COVID sprang up, and then we were at lockdown, frontliners, health nurses, they had some incentive from the government to some attest to the fact that they had those monies. And say, COVID was dangerous then, but they were still standing. And if you look at this security sector, and so the other time I was watching Captain Smart on Unia TV, and I was so sad to the extent that maybe a fire service for the adding.
Yes, I watched it too.
Adding like now in tabu be abu when I didn't pon them after so. Into nipa say baby is here. Now say sometimes when you watch these videos of baby shina fire service ni enkodum na the way as if nothing is at stake.
Obeda so de kwana na honam ya.
Into eduma na eniha.
Yes. But do you know that one secret about this security services, recruitment, before say forms remember out for people to even patronize it, Ankasana. They've already recruited people already. That is one secret.
Let's look at this.
Yes. They know the people they have recruited already.
Then what do you stress?
So the problem is this. They release about 5,000 forms out there.
Okay.
And then they will tell you to apply for it. And remember, it is not free. You pay for it. Now, when you pay for it, then at the end of the day, they will come and tell you that, we need only 500 people. We need only 300 people. We need only 200 people. Ask yourself, if you need just 200 people, why don't you just release 200 forms for the 200 people to apply? Then you employ the 200. If should in case there's someone who has been disqualified, then let's say 20 have been disqualified, then you release another 20 forms out there. By all means, you get people. But here's the case: you've released over 5,000 forms out there. And all these people who have applied, they are desperate to get the job. And here is the case. You come and tell me that my pubic hair is too much, so you disqualified me.
Sure. Are you a victim?
I am a victim. 2010. I am a victim.
Hey, what disqualified you?
Yes, my ass here for the.
Oh, like seriously?
I am telling you.
For
we
real?
went to Elwak Stadium. We slept there for 2 days. We were over 6,000 people for the military service. And then at the end of the day, they told us that they only need 500 after sleeping there for 2 days.
You slept there for 2 days?
2 days. My sister, so when you're indoors, you be disqualified.
Is that necessary?
Or more food, they be disqualified. It is improper management. Because I think they are looking at the money they are getting, not the interest of the people applying. Because that will be among you. Your family will come. So my father was the one coming in and out to give me food and give me water for the 2 days I slept there. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about paid money. Nobody cares about you. They care about what they want and what they are doing. So it is high time the youth should wake up and try to find something on your own instead of depending on these things. Maybe the answer my answer for obi yesi ni motu you fu disqualified. Obi yesi when you see the person was disqualified.
Do you know that Ghana we actually make we are too petty. Nyama ehun here.
That is what we feel.
And shame. To say when something happens, instead of we to talk about it as it is, and deal with the situation, they will be referring back.
Exactly.
In a way, and say, this is what's happened and this is what happened. Masa, look at yearly, look at the recruitment, look at how people rush to get recruited.
Yes.
And you're not scared. And what is more fear and panic than that? No, I want to understand something. What is more fear and panic? Say, jobs in the you even import people to come and work. What is more fear and panic than when you increase fuel and people are coming to work, they don't even know what to do?
More, I believe that the youth to curb this unemployment thing. When the politicians come to us, whatever it is that they tell us, we should make sure that we hold them accountable.
There is no law supporting that.
Can't we make it?
We have a constitution. That is why people rose up that they want a reform of the constitution.
So they cannot be held accountable?
Never.
Oh, wow.
They can never be held accountable for anything that they've done. And to say, China, now you're a minister.
How dare you?
Now, so do this and you are not able to fulfill it.
You will resign.
Yeah, you will feel who we are. They even have the right to still investigate you.
Exactly.
But we have a system that doesn't support that.
Wow.
It's only for their stomachs.
Wow.
They don't care about it's now insane. We are not their priority.
So if that is the case, you see, one thing I like about what you're saying is that I think the education is now going out there, and the youth, they are now getting to know certain things. Because I can't remember one time there was a problem somewhere. The MP went there with bags of rice. They rejected it.
Oh yes, they rejected. You do any massa.
They need jobs.
Yes.
This one district, one factory thing. This one constituency,
one dam.
One dam. Agenda 111. Where is it?
This when you're trying to build something and you start with lies, this is what happens.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to chastise anybody, but
no.
we are speaking as it is.
Yes, we are telling you the fact.
Yeah, and you say AC8 hospitals.
Exactly.
We were okay, at least. And say, oh, I am coming to maybe renovate it, and I say me baby, and I say kolebune 37 ne or confanot ne omo na maybe expansion, because still there is no bed syndrome.
Yes,
still there is no bed. People are sleeping on the floor and for edge drip or plastic chairs. Exactly. Then you come and tell me you want to build 100 and what? 88 old one so expansion. Then what kind of country are we managing?
They are just playing with our mind. That's all.
Ghana for nankasa no ye refi adientem.
Oh, Mahama kan.
Yankasa no ye refi adientem.
Short memory.
Serious, because you can't be cutting swords. And when you say a strategy now, by this time, source or cutting and development, what started? And it's not about the parliament, and it's not about more Hasisiano. Both MPP and NDC are the same.
Exactly. And the problem here is this: some of we the youth, instead of looking at what a person can do to help us in terms of jobs, yeah, the Akokosi party will say, hey, your family party will win in Akoko Metro Man. Yeah, the Denchem see Hanuma. Yeah, the Denchem they try me from internet woman without looking at the person's capabilities, the person's strength, what the person can do to help us in terms of this employment. More, this thing we are talking about, it is not a joking matter.
Sure. I'm not trying to cut you, but look at Commander Sugar Factory.
Yo.
Established in 1964.
Yo.
And it is 57 years old.
Yo.
And Chebiane Ghana very pe.
Yeah, we are going.
Yeah, we move. And look at Raste in chance in Raste tube say the bay sugar cane processing it is factory I say. So what no way to toothpick cry.
So can you say that the politicians in Ghana they don't know this what you are saying? They don't know what you're saying.
Sure, they know. But the truth of them are bro.
Yes.
I mean that is what I would say. Bro. And we are not attacking anybody.
No.
But if you know you are responsible, and that's a 1 year there, it is your own cup of tea. But it's high time that we, the citizens, realize that Ghana, no, yeah. People can't afford even 2 square meals a day.
No.
And then we are happy. You know, that the other time you went to a program at Tabita Ghana, and we saw these aged.
Yes.
When you look close to you look close, and you see the kind of people seated, and not that they don't have to buy. I believe that they're also struggling to bring something to the house.
Really?
The people said they don't even have food to eat.
Exactly.
And if you're in Ghana and you can't afford 3 square meals a day, then what kind of country are we living in?
The only country that we have a witch camp. You see, that Tebita Ghana thing reminded me so much of the witch camp at Tamaga.
Just look at this.
You see, at the end of the day, one thing is this. If you have a child and the child is unemployed, the person is struggling to make it. Not say any year, the person will end up calling you the mother, you the grandmother, a witch. Into this witchcraft thing, you now link about unemployment that you can.
Are you serious? I don't think so. Behind you, honey, a flow on a pipe moon if you are about
now, when was a Kenya? When was a Kenya or before that? I ain't here for now. Sikeni on one ejuma no only time. But ye here for now, on my prayer ejuma no mo. Instead of them looking at how and I say how to solve this unemployment problem, then they end up accusing their mothers.
But do you know, say, this whole unemployment issue, ways to curb it, I think it starts from the mind.
Exactly.
Because number one, we are human beings. Yeah, said maybe they should fix things in the country, but we should also fix what ourselves.
We have to fix ourselves. Oh yes.
Ukoswa snap akesie na akoye. Wofi se eto ene ye de ye hwehwe we adwuma ho no mo. Ye ma adwuma bi a wonye. Why ho magajia na ansi ho no mo. Ye ka one no aka two. You don't even know your left from your right.
You see, you've raised a very important point. Ipinifo baby say, abuano say if you didn't china, nisongu. Ejana, nisongu. There are people when they are in need, you will see them helebe hintelebe. Even church conference na kwenye. Because whatever he or she wants to force away. Into juma ya sama okay, ebe wa be juma mo ha ya fa na juma wa ba be sua ye no ho krama ho brase ya fa na juma you force juma na ne dia. One, that is where the true colors will start coming up. Two, attitudes. Time or person I work time or pay no be juma. Obana o kan ani mana ne buafu. You don't have to say anything about that person, forgetting that when he or she was coming to look for the job.
Ale krama ho mrase na ba.
And buy the refi. So I am not surprised, and as I am not in doubt that you are saying that we have short memory. We politicized it, but that is the truth. We politicized it, and then it became a campaign messages for some people. But when you take politics aside, that statement is true and clear. Because when you are coming, you were in need before you came. But after that, you feel say, oh, many money, that is all. But you don't know that you can be fired at any time. You don't know that you can encounter problem at any time. So as for our attitude, more, it's very, very necessary.
And And even away from the office, maybe a breakfast office in some makers, or the inquiry important. Or Babesia. What's a calm? One means you pure water. Seme fly over. Window shim, or the atu foam. Now you call yourself a lady or you call yourself a gentleman. You can't out with him a female by any sense fast second mate in a cover prat, not the good husband. Just say everything you be because let's make Accra work. Who should make the Accra work? If you
don't face our attitude, how will it work?
It won't work.
It cannot work.
It can't work in any way. So who be a traffic? You two monko market is yanko.
Yes.
We nak attitude no.
Yes.
It's up here.
The kind of gutter I walk on, sometimes I ask myself that God, why? To the extent that, excuse me, viewers, will be at to toilet boy.
Ew.
Yes, or you
flyover.
Me dramatic pow. Ask yourself that. So the too far window. So ask yourself that too far window me. Say koto be anymore. And then koto be fit. They say you don't care. You are just looking at say why you who you know what the viewers forgive me say who did am so fache me. Na me come tell a pipe mechi. Unfortunately, men who window could free mobile. Because no windows in also. It's if you metin about men who the exact window I free mobile.
I
am telling you now who window now.
That's much a prison.
I'm telling you. So you see, these things, you know, I don't know if people are not seeing how serious it is. Maybe when you say people now are not seeing how serious it is to fix ourselves. And immaturity is also one. Many people are grown, but they are not matured. And when you can't say, say, above Obanyansafu Onyinche, sounds na Obajimi Fonsu Onyinche. It is Obian Nina Nitrimu Efudenya, doesn't mean so Onyansa. It is me Fonsu Ninje. So if you are looking for somebody who can help you, and as somebody who will advise you to make a better choice in order to curb this unemployment, and yes, sir, Obi and Nitinyo Funkuana so you force anybody Onyansa. No, Sabi Ejimi Fonsu Ninje. So you have to be careful. That is the mistake we make. Oh, there's an elderly person in the house. Oh, the person can advise you on what to do. But you not being matured, no. You think that because the person is an elderly person or experienced in life. No, it is wrong. That attitude should be changed. It's not about the gray hair.
What can I say, ma'am? When we say anytime you are going for unemployment, you know, they ask 5 years experience.
Good.
10 years experience.
Good.
20 years. Why no the on better experience?
Never experience.
Why? I don't know the on near experience no. We live in a system where national service persons and I say interns go to media houses, they go to various organizations, now for more than errand boys and girls.
Exactly.
Want to watch a better beans, so better go instead of us to mentor people and train people that the ocean fee school and Hannah and now we're implement to a workplace. And I say this is not how it is done here. Yeah. And you're better watch it simply because some child may say better than me. Really.
But you also know that Asema working, in a way, there's a strong motive behind it. Because what we learn in our schools itself, and Papa. Because of a 5 years experience, let's take China as an example. China produces hundreds of thousands of engineers every year. Ghana will produce 100,000 pastors every year. That is the problem. Until 5 years experience now, say adia yesunya wo ye schools what we learn in our various schools say you're practical enough. That is where the experience starts. So if you stay in school for 5 years and what is practical enough, by the end of the 5 years you have that experience before coming out. But here is the case, we are learning pi r square.
Oh my god.
Pythagoras theorem.
Tell me. Theta tan theta. Cos theta supreme theta.
Wait. And I hear then. Oshana behara no atan Bible ashene motium. Nyame mfre no makakra obedi nti. End up duping people. And maybe believe say because of that angle, that is why they keep saying that they need 5 years experience, they need 3 years experience because of that and because of various schools.
Let me see, when you say the years in various schools, and it's not really helping. Mom, what institution? What are you doing?
What are you doing? What is the Ghana education system?
More then. And you know, na akwala school when you're F9, na ni parents are puno because when you're F9 was subjects being you know, then no more declare and say, oh, we are useless. Meanwhile, the child can do something profitable and something beneficial to himself or herself, even the family and the nation as a whole. But because when you're F into Wabon, look at this. We have teachers who are in the classroom. Teacher for my idea, Mebomabaso. It's a Senka Obia. A coupon was say a bomb about more lucrative incentives, teachers.
Yes,
because amuno shut up. Teacher, but I'm shut up. I was saying, 350. What shut up? Additional 350. Sit here 150 because by the time we do fear, no when you're BP.
More
Students even in your BP, but more queer teacher for every woman, but every one so more careless spirits.
Teachers, let's look.
More careless spirits.
Let's look at it. Let's divide the incentives as okay. I agree with you perfectly well. Say teachers are the most people to be given incentives. Because and no more
oh yes.
Teacher now or nursery now or no so to write A, B, C. How much is that teacher being paid?
2.5.
University lecturer. Whereby the students are already matured. They just come and sit down, you just come and introduce the lesson, you tell them go and do your research and goes. How much is that person being paid?
70,000.
So who should receive more incentive?
Ghana, your problem. Your problem. Just say, be a foundation in yet. Just say everything a baby and foundation, it is weak.
Very poor.
It is very poor. Very poor because I remember say time near creative arts. Incident say akwala no kwa no subject bi wo ho na ompa edu creative art the person is excited because ade na ope no e no oye ana ye kire mo sisi ano na o enkofo betro bi si ebi mo ma betro wasi omo be try ICT pepepe obi wa akra we hu computer da obi so ti bambrugu baby man so no kro hu be stones any high left click high right click you mu na betro exam spec then what kind of education are we portraying?
Exactly.
And to say the nana make us say teachers want a big careless spirit no. A bit me idea being so careless spirit. Careless spirit in the sense that na akwala ko school what we be a question and I say the more na akwani hu so a obi they make us obi na IQ level.
Yeah.
And to say obi na IQ level I didn't watch no obi entumi enti ase at that time but chinchine trying also wabon. Instead of you to pay particular attention to the abilities of the person, and now more target more say whatever you say registers in the subconscious of the person.
Yeah.
Now it starts tormenting the person. One can you be sensible enough to say encouragement or encouraging words to the person. Just say everything no, your dream. We have to recycle ourselves. And back to the sugar factory.
Yeah.
On a more serious note. Now your state farms. Governments have to, I think you have to go back and then invest in state farms where we will have people investing in agriculture. Sugar factory, for example, in the sea. Meanwhile, it can produce 1,250 tons of sugar cane daily. And it can also create 7,300 employment for people.
7,300
employment for people. Na yete ha. Ye jato erasi e-block. Mahama sisi ye. Nkofo sisi edasu si ho.
Sagleme housing projects.
And so nkofo edda kiosk na sisi e the kiosk ya estates.
Oh yes. This Okwati Mota is already kiosk.
Population census na mo ye. So mo say kiosk. And nkofo didem.
More. Forget about population census. I was not counted.
Uni pa kwa die.
Ain't you know, out no. I don't know where it's coming from.
Uni pa kwa die.
None of my family are.
Obekwa kwa jini sika kura masa waboni trim.
I was not counted.
Otna ha yankan no so the figure about.
So the figures that came out, I don't know where they got that figure.
Interesting. That is Ghana for you. Yes, sorry, a paperwork in here. paperwork by this time and this age. They say they are engineers. We are still engineers on paper.
Yes.
You come out, you can manufacture simple tools for us to use.
Yes.
Not China near quiet mobile phone a brand near hello. Toothpick crack.
COVID by a man says, science I work because if the science student Noguchi, why we have very good scientists there. Now say they cannot produce a vaccine for us. Now say a craft vaccine free India and then COVID India.
Maybe there were issues. No, Ghana, we have trust issues. Because your hand is saying I can use it for COVID-19 vaccine. No, but by say FDA, I'm on check no more approve say okay. Send no more approve the
only God knows.
We don't cherish our own. If you listen, inferiority too much. If you listen, we can't do things on our own. It's say if you're outside, but then they're genuine.
Black man.
Genuine. Seriously.
That mentality is wrong.
It's very bad. It's I was saying, yes, a maintenance culture, poor maintenance, is serious. Think about this. If the sugar factory, I just want to dwell on that one, cause serious.
Yeah.
The sugar factory alone, no. I mean.
Because look at the number of people that this factory can employ. Now you judge to say. And here is the case, you better fiscal to go and then import from another country. Oh my goodness. From another country, whilst this factory can employ as many as
7,300 people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Before we even wrap up, now I'm saying LGBT am na home so.
Yeah.
And uncle was say, if you don't accept this now, yeah, nya ticket fi IMF. Yeah, both yen fi here and I. And we should capitalize on that. And then say we are not even accepting any money from them or any donations from them. Then we will build on what we have as a nation.
My last point, if we say we talk about this issue, we will sit here for 3 hours. My last point that I want to read before we wrap up, because time is not on our side. The whites who have endorsed LGBTQ, they are those that we still borrow money from, because we are still under slavery. You can't tell me that Ghana is independent. We are not. We are still under slavery because we still go to them. Now here is the case: they give us the money to come and do whatever we want to do here, and they are telling you that okay, fine, agree to this policy of mine. If you don't, I won't support you anymore. What choice do you have?
And America say, Enka for once, we should stand and say that we are not taking anything from them. We will build on what we have.
We have enough resources to do what you are saying.
Now me Ghana me say blocks we see that no. Na fifi I mean. Just say everything is fresh. You will see Dubai, drones. Drone electricity climate in a tons your mom. There desert yet na in short 24/7. We are not planting for food and jobs. That was in. I was saying. A quanya, a coffin in towards ni him for a quine na say. Yembu farmers. In Sonuna Eddie Ejuma Bebre. Commander Sugar Factory Capone, ye just baby ma and home chance secret to.
I'm telling you.
Make us a cousin was doing so. And we chance to arresting a sihonom, something that can produce 7,300 jobs for people when you are here.
We are here sitting here.
We are here sitting here. I mean, like country now, one and everything is from the brains. It's a high time we should realize that politicians they don't care.
No, they don't.
They don't care about any of us. They don't care. They don't care. So if they care, and can reform the constitution, then we say, I mean, I'm not above the law, and you say, but the politics banner mania, you should hold me accountable. What's no? Selfish gains. And say, and I hail him. So say, story we have a new job in MC, you're bouncing and I feel or ordinary bribes. No, what did the bribes? Son, also.
Yeah.
Instead of it to take qualified persons, what's the bribe? Now, we don't conform, qualify a position. They're tormenting the country. This is what they are doing. And I am with their parents. I feel police for having a motor.
Yeah, why too desperate to the sense like on himself cameras in the so he didn't care.
Now, hey, what you say? What's now? What's the bribe? What's the bribe? When you say one to add in man, I tell my men to my own, for sick, I can know left and right.
The more there is no money in the country until the Baba Castle.
Any of you are born a moon, I'm better. Some was a moon, I'm more pray. See, this should be a lesson to everyone. Most of you your bribes and who deserve a positions in farm more. Oh, Mutia bribe, Chalamuya connection. See, MC level, and I was at Emma bribes. And I'll be a president of a town country.
Bribes followed by threatening.
Over town country, no. In fact, Ghana, see, I can't see a kind of one, some show young home. Sorry. Do you have any final words to say?
Oh, all I want to say is that as a country, we need to change our mentality. One, change our mentality to believe in ourselves. That as a country, we can do it. Because tax are raising every day. If you would ever trot for easy. Let's use it to build, invest in our youth. Because that even so move a young youth no need be take over. Into a banner say Oman share youth ni nas at the end of the day no ye be armed robbers will become armed robbery leaders. So mo share ye nas ye be ni papa will become very good leaders. Now you so ye their share into the phone instead of using the money to pay huge sums of money to the politicians.
What? Me blasting no, I just don't want to continue.
It's just unfortunate our time is up.
You produce us so.
Just unfortunate.
Then I'm going to show you see. To the people out there, Masa Ghana no mene wo dia o. Mene wo dia. Obi en fi soro mechechere. Say tam Ghana fo ina kwa America, need America fo ina ba Ghana. Ebe kwa kwose ho no. No mo develop hamaye. Ti say no kan ya adwen. Adwen is the problem. When you change your attitude, you change the way you do your stuff, it will even reflect in your duties. It's an independent for no so no. Once I see na boboba o. Mutia bribe no. Na say bounce ya. Na moja camera sim so kra mu hu, emfa mu hu kra. Boboba. Boboba, there is nothing new under the sun you by boboba. Boboba sa. This is where we draw the curtains on broad daylight. I was here with my colleague, Ni Kwate Lai Korte. And then we had a nice time. I believe that almost here be a film.
Yeah.
We've learned something for whatever that we spoke about today. So on to another episode. Bye.